Hello, Richard from OneSight Solutions here. Welcome to this training module on Supervisor. So we're going to be looking at making a Niagara network connection from our Supervisor to JACE and also the other way around. And we're going to do that using a secure connection. So we're going to have to approve certificates as well as part of doing that. The next thing we're going to do is import all the points from the JACE into the Supervisor, and then you can then use endpoints on the JACE, whether it's create a graphic or if it's if you're doing a bit of strategy maybe with some of those points. Once it's on the Supervisor, you can do whatever you want with that that information there, that data. Then we're going to create a schedule on the Supervisor, and then we're going to go to the JACE and import that schedule. So we'll go through that, and then after we've done that, we're going to export some histories from the JACE to the Supervisor, and then lastly, we're going to get the alarms that are on the JACE sent to the Supervisor as well. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, so now we've got two hosts, so it can get a bit tricky now. Just make sure you're looking at your ORD more frequently to make sure you're in the right place. So I'm going to go to my station on my local host, go to drivers and then Niagara Network, double click on that. And then I'm going to hit the discover button, and it should just go away and discover my one JACE on my network, which should be this one here, JACE01. Okay, and then I just need to add that to my database. So drag that down, and I have to add the credentials for a user that's set up on that JACE. So I've set up one called M2M, which is my machine to machine. Check it's enabled, check your Fox port is secure, and then you can say OK. So initially it looks like it's OK, but I need to ping it. So if I do a right click action and then ping, this will come back saying it's failed, and the health, under the health there, if you open that up and have a look in there, it will come up telling you why it's failed, and it should come up saying it's failed because of a SSL certificate not been approved. So to approve that, we'll need to look in our platform and then go to our certificate management on the Supervisor still. So there you go. So failed certificate validation, SSL exception. So I can now go to my certificate management, go to the allowed host, and there you go. There's a certificate there waiting for me from that IP address, which is my JACE, and I can check the date, make sure it is what you think it is, and then approve it. Once it's approved, I can just go back to my Niagara network and right click on the device and ping it again. Now we just need for this to do a check on that certificate, make sure it's been approved, and then this orange line will disappear, go clear, and then my connection is healthy from my Supervisor to my JACE. But then I'm going to have to do exactly the same on my JACE. So if I go down here, get this ready, that's gone clear now. You can see it, health OK. So now I'm on my remote host. I need to go to the same thing, go to my Niagara network and do a discover. Before I do that, you can see it's because I've made a connection one way, it's presuming I'm going to make a connection the other way, and it's ghosted that in for me. What I do here is I just do a discover anyway, and then you can use this match, and it will match these up. Because at the moment it doesn't have an IP address in there. This one that I've done a discover on has got an IP address. So if I click on there and also click on the bottom here, and then click on match. So you have to have an item in the top and the bottom selected before you can click on match. And now it's put the IP address in there. So I need to put the password in again. And make sure it's enabled. Make sure your Fox S port is in there. So OK. And do exactly the same this way around. So right click, action and ping, as I did on my Supervisor. So this time when it should come up with the same error. Oh, wrong box. I need to go to my platform on my remote host this time and go to the certificate management there to deal with this, approve this certificate. Okay, same error. So go into my cert management for my remote host and go to the tabs along the top. Once it gets there, it's being particularly slow at the moment. Here we go. So go to my allowed hosts, and again there's a certificate waiting for me. So this time it's from my supervisor, which is my IP address for my supervisor. So I can check all the details and approve this one. So now when I go back to my Niagara network, I should have a healthy connection both ways once I've pinged on it and waited for that to come back as cleared. So right click on it, ping. Hopefully this will go cleared now, and then I'm good to go. I can start discovering or moving points between these two JACEs now. So the next thing I'm going to do is go to my local host, my supervisor, and go to my point folder underneath my the device I'm connected to under my Niagara network, which is my JACE one. I just want to wait for this to clear first. Otherwise it won't work. There we go, so it's clear. I can now go on my points points extension. Down the bottom here we've got a new folder. The new folder is a point folder. It's a special type of folder, so you can rename this, and it's a good idea to use these for good housekeeping really. So I can go into that now, and it's still a point manager. That's what makes this type of folder different from a normal folder. It's still the home page, so the home view is still a Niagara point manager. So now I can hit discover here. So I'm inside my FanCore Unit 1 point folder, and in a minute the BQL query builder is going to pop up, and that's going to help me filter down to where these points are that I want to put into my database. Okay, so here it is. So I can now, so actually my folder is underneath config, so I don't, if it was underneath BACnet or something, the point I was trying to get to, I can navigate using this route chooser. But I'm going to mine is just going to be on a config, and I have to choose a folder because it's in a folder. Okay, so there we are. There's all the folders underneath config, and the one I'm going to be using is this one here, FanCore Unit 001. So if I unfold that and then go to the points I want to add to my database, I can then just drag those down, and there you go. Those are my points, all reading, all moving, all been subscribed. What you'll see here as well, if there's anything overridden, the colours would come through, the mauve would come through. If it's an alarm, it would be red. If it's a stale point, it would be yellow, etc. All these different colours would come through on the Niagara network. Good, so now there's my points in my FanCore Unit point folder. If I was going to create a graphic here, I'll probably do it here. I'll probably right click on FanCore Unit 001 and create a new view there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is set up a new folder under config called schedules. And I'm going to add a new schedule to this wire sheet and call it ground floor. And I'll just set some times up in here, just some random times so you can see them coming through. And I should really take care of my facets as well. Hit the wrong button there. Okay, so now, yeah, facets are good. So now I've got that on my supervisor. I now need to get it onto my JACE. So I'll go to the Niagara network on my JACE this time. Scroll down to the schedule folder underneath device I'm connected to on my remote host. And then I can go to, there's two views here. There's an import manager and an export manager. So I'm going to be importing in it. So hit discover. There we go. So I can just add that to my database by dragging it down. Okay, so it's already imported it as well. If it hadn't, you can click on this import at the bottom. So if I double click it, sorry, right click on it and go to views, I should be able to see that schedule that I just set up. Yeah, so that random schedule I set up. So I know it's correct information. That's grayed out because it's I can't alter it. I can't make any changes to the schedule here. I can only make changes at the supervisor level now. But what I can do is link mark this point and then go to my schedule on my JACE. So under here I've got my ground floor. This is what I want to, so I can either find out where all these are link marked to and replace this schedule by link marking it to the new schedule on my Niagara network, or I can do what I've done here, and I've got like a ground floor extension, like an override, going into an OR. This OR has been set up for null on inactive, which means so if this point isn't active, and it isn't at the moment, it's saying null, it will relinquish this schedule here to work. And so you can see there, this schedule at the moment is using the outsource weekday Thursday, and it's occupied. When I link mark my schedule, which I've just link marked from my Niagara network here, once I've linked marked that to this OR, it's now gone true. So now my outsource is looking at my input, and that is priority number 1 on this schedule. So it's overriding whatever's in this schedule. This is overriding it now. So there's a couple of different ways you can set your schedules up on your JACEs, whichever suits you the best, really. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is export some histories. So again, I'm on my remote host. Okay, my remote host. I can close my platform down, or minimize it, sorry. And now I can go to my histories, double click on my histories extension under my Niagara network. This time I am going to export it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my change my view to the Niagara History Export Manager, and then hit Discover. This will find all my histories on this JACE that I'm on. So I can then just select which ones I want, drag them to my database. Using this multi-select tool, make sure you do highlight them all if you're going to make any changes. So if I want to change them all to 12 o'clock now, you can see here the execution time is going to be daily at 12 o'clock. You can choose manual or interval. You can change it, set this up however you want, really. Change what days of the week as well. So okay, and then again, the last success hasn't happened yet. So what you can do is force that by just highlighting them all and saying archive, and then the last success time should change. Still in progress, taking a bit of time. So if I go to my history now on my supervisor, so again, this is now my local host. So it hasn't done it yet. There we go. So now it's just done it, and you see the last success time here. And now underneath my histories, I've got a new folder there, which is my my JACE01, and there's my histories there. So they've all come through now. So that's worked. So the last thing we need to take care of now is my alarms. So on my remote host, I've got some alarms set up. If I go to the alarm service, you can see I've got critical and non-critical alarms, and they're going into this alarm console. So I've got the alarms here, but this station recipient is where I go to set up when I want to send them to another station. So I wasn't able to select this earlier because I hadn't discovered any remote devices yet. So you can only this will get populated once you start adding different devices to your Niagara network. So that's where I want to send them to, my Supervisor 100. Save that. So now the alarms should start coming through. If I go to my Supervisor alarm service now. So let's have a look. You might see some here. Yep, so the alarms are coming through, but they're coming through as a default alarm class. Okay, so if you want them to be the same alarm class as what they were originally on the remote host, what you have to do is go into the alarm service, copy those alarm classes, and then just paste them onto this Y sheet on your supervisor, and then link those into the console recipient. And then alarms should start coming through now. The last thing you have to do, is go to your Niagara network on your receiving end of your Niagara network. So under here, and go to the alarm extension. And you have to, so at the moment, by default, it's replacing all my alarms and put them into the default alarm class. What I can do though is just say use existing. So if you say use existing, then they'll start coming back into the right alarm classes on my supervisor now. So they should eventually start coming into here now. So you might see that in a second. Anyway, so that's it. That's the end of this training module. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you've been enjoying watching these videos. And please don't forget to check out our website, OneSight Solutions, where we offer different product solutions and also different classroom training at our own premises on different products. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, and I'll see you later. Bye.